Donald Trump's administration is being rocked by another resignation bombshell, and it couldn't come at a worse time or to a worse person than Press Secretary Kristi Noem. She is clearly panicking as she looks at these poll numbers and the massive pushback she's receiving from huge protests all across Minnesota after the fatal shooting by an ICE agent. We're going to break down all of that and explain why this is bad news for Kristi Noem. But before we get into that story, if you could quickly leave a like on this video, and if you haven't already and you enjoy our channel, hit that subscribe button because it goes a long way in supporting our work. Now, I want to get into Noem's resignation, but I first want to start with a story that has truly broken my heart. The young man who was blinded by an ICE agent who shot him in the face. Given everything happening right now at the Department of Homeland Security and the national outrage over the ICE operations, that is where we need to begin. Please, I know it's hard, but take a look.
Well, can you tell us about your injuries now and the prognosis? Will you be blind in that eye for life?
From what I've heard the doctors say and everyone else, yes, I will be blind for life. They said my globe was ruptured. I had my lower lid was cut up, and they had to take skin from my temple to fix it. There's a lot to it. I don't remember all the things that they said. I have fractures in my skull that they can't fix, and I can't sneeze or cough because it's dangerous too. I remember also when I shot, there was pepper in it, and I had pepper down my throat. It made it hard to breathe for a long time. They pulled a piece of plastic the size of a nickel out of my eye. They said I had shards of metal, glass, and plastic all throughout my eye and behind my eye and in my skull. And they also said that I had a piece of shrapnel metal about a few millimeters away from my carotid artery. And they said it was a miracle I survived, because if it got any closer, if it hit that, I would have died that night.
Totally blind right now? You see nothing out of the eye?
Nothing out of this eye, yeah.
This is not an agency, a government, or a group of people that we can reason with. They hate us. They want to harm us. That is what they are set on doing. They believe it gives them power and makes them appear tough. Anyone suggesting that a little extra training, more funding, or a few guidelines will stop ICE agents from committing these actions does not understand the reality, does not care, and is unwilling to confront fascism. Unless we defund this agency and rebuild it from the ground up, there is nothing that can be done to fix what is already happening. This is not a matter of a few bad actors. This is systemic. The point is cruelty. And that was made evident in Carolyn Leavitt's response to ICE's brutality in this clip. This is also why we are seeing a resignation bomb shake Donald Trump's administration.
Earlier, you were just defending ICE agents generally, and earlier on, Secretary Noem spoke to the media, and she said, among other things, that they are doing everything correctly. 32 people died in ICE custody last year. 170 US citizens were detained by ICE, and Renee Good was shot in the head and killed by an ICE agent. How does that equate to them doing everything correctly?
Why was Renee Good unfortunately and tragically killed?
Are you asking me my opinion? Because an ICE agent acted recklessly and killed her unjustifiably.
Oh, okay. So you're a biased reporter with a left-wing opinion.
What do you want me to do?
Yeah, because you're a left-wing hack. You're not a reporter. You're posing in this room as a journalist, and it's so clear by the premise of your question. And you and the people in the media who have such biases but fake like you're a journalist, you shouldn't even be sitting in that seat. But you're pretending like you're a journalist, but you're a left-wing activist. And the question that you just raised and your answer proves your bias. You should be reporting on the facts. You should be reporting on the cases. Do you have the numbers of how many American citizens were killed at the hands of illegal aliens who ICE is trying to remove from this country? I bet you don't. I bet you didn't even read up on those stories. I bet you never even read about Laken Riley or Jocelyn Nungray or all of the innocent Americans who were killed at the hands of illegal aliens in this country. And the brave men and women of ICE are doing everything in their power to remove those heinous individuals and make our communities safer. And shame on people like you in the media who have a crooked view and have a biased view and pretend like you're a real honest journalist.
They hate us. They hate us. They want to threaten us. They want to intimidate us. They will mock us. They will hurt us. It's why I continue to say getting in the muck or seeping to their level, right? Getting in the mud, that doesn't hurt us. There's no way for there to be respectful dialogue or compromise with Republicans in their fascist administration right now. There just isn't. You know, I hear a lot of people say, well, you got to be able to work with people you disagree with. What about people who you disagree with and hate you and want you dead? Can you work with those people? Because I don't think that you can. I just don't. And even ICE knows that you can't work with them because their own are fleeing right now at DHS as everything falls apart. And that's where this resignation bombshell comes in. ICE Barbie's deputy, 28, ditches agency as shooting backlash boils over. Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem's top ally is stepping down as second in command at Immigration and Customs Enforcement as the agency faces a series of scandals and dwindling public support. Madison Sheehan, 28, the deputy director of ICE, announced Thursday that she's ditching the agency to launch a congressional campaign in Ohio. In a statement to the Daily Beast, Noem gushed that Madison is a workhorse, strong executor, and terrific leader, saying she will be a great defender of freedom when she goes to Congress. However, one DHS insider told the Beast of Cheyenne's congressional hopes if she's going to shake a lot of hands, she needs to learn not to crush them. Sheehan was parachuted into the number 2 job at ICE in March 2025 as Trump, 79, overhauled the AY's leadership and demanded a vast surge in arrests and deportations. Before that, she ran the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries and previously worked as a political aide to Noem in South Dakota. Some ICE veterans were furious that a 28-year-old with limited law enforcement experience was suddenly their boss, CBS reported. First, I have to say, before we get into the broader implications, that this woman is currently running in Ohio's 9th congressional district, and if you live in that district, we have to make sure she loses, right? It's already a blue seat, which helps, but we still have to make sure she loses. And when she does, I will definitely pop a bottle of champagne. Let's be clear about that. But it's not just that people are fleeing ICE. This is also a reminder of who was working at ICE. A 28-year-old with no law enforcement experience, though really no one at ICE seems to have much experience, was the number 2 because she was friends with Kristi Noem. Kristi Noem brought all of her friends into DHS and handed them big contracts so they could make, Yellowstone-style ads that really helped no one, though they got plenty of airtime. Speaking of those ads, Kristi Noem was airing footage of herself on horseback, dressing up, acting tough, whatever hat she had that day, specifically in TV markets near Mar-a-Lago, hoping Donald Trump would see it. That's how these people operate. They serve Donald Trump. This woman at ICE got called in to serve Trump, and now she's running for Congress because she wants to continue serving him. That is the reality of these people. You cannot separate Donald Trump from ICE. Come January 20th, 2029, God willing, with a Democratic president, ICE is not just going to say, well, Trump is out, I guess we have to leave. No. They will continue to represent Donald Trump's interests. If you want Trump gone from government, you have to root out everything he touched and corrupted. It's not enough to just have a Democratic president while Trump's remnants, including ICE, remain entrenched. That's the real deep state. All of the judges Trump appointed to manipulate the judiciary, they have to be removed. Lawbreakers? Yes, we should impeach judges. ICE. We should abolish it. Kash Patel? Fired. No honoring his 10-year term. We have to root this all out. Trump, his networks, the systems that put him in power. And that is the state of DHS right now. It is an absolute disaster. Everything is falling apart. The wheels are coming off. And now is the moment for pushback. Trump and his allies have never been more unpopular. We need to seize this moment, and we need representatives willing to act. That's why it was so important that Lawrence O'Donnell got the chance to speak with Amy Klobuchar last night. And I want to hear what the senator had to say.
The other side of this, Lawrence, is that they have sent 3,000 ICE agents at the last count, and our sworn officers in Minneapolis and St. Paul who are valiantly trying to do their jobs, there's only 1,100 of them. So that is what's going on. They are literally going to shopping malls. I met with some school superintendents today from the suburbs and school principals. They're also going to the close in and further out suburbs, into their parking lots, into arresting students, as was just pointed out, people who are legal, people with passports, people who are wrestled down and yelling, "I am a U.S. citizen." So this is truly an assault on our state. And when you see these people standing up in Menards parking lots and Targets, what's incredible about this is these aren't protests that have any notice that this is going to happen. These are people just standing up, filming, blowing whistles, and calling out what's happening, because people just can't tolerate that you're going to treat people in our state. It's always had a big heart and has been through so much this year with the assassination of Melissa and Mark Hortman and the killing of those little sweet kids in the church. To have ICE come in like that is a total outrage.
Senator, you saw the resignation yesterday, unprecedented resignation in the U.S. Attorney's Office in Minnesota. About 6 of the key prosecutors there who really make that office run. How does that change things?
Well, in a very bad way. This office is a treasure. It's gotten national justice awards in the past. One of the attorneys, Melinda Williams, worked on this major national human trafficking case. Joe Thompson, who is leading the fraud prosecutions that are righteous prosecutions where taxpayer money has been ripped off, and charged and convicted a number of people with many other cases to go. And he literally had to resign. And I spoke to him yesterday. I did not ask him the details of this resignation, but the reports are that these prosecutors who took an oath to protect the public.
Now more than ever, it's time to push back. I'll keep saying that every time we talk about Minnesota. Support leaders who fight for us. And you can support this work by hitting subscribe, leaving a like, and dropping a blue heart if you stayed till the end. And until next time, I will see you soon.